So back again just for a quick thing. Yes, I've got it to work. So I did find this thing. So I'm going to use this little gadget as the clock generator. So this sends out little square wave pulses, as if you've watched the 4049 video where I tried to get to do a bit more interesting stuff. And the other thing is that the thing, it wasn't working because the enable pin has to be held to ground, I think, for it to work. So I had to swap that so that it's going to ground. So yeah, so the enable goes to ground, and so I plugged them all in, and they went in a random order. But I cleverly worked out a way, without even looking at the book, of how to put them in the right order. We'll do that next time. But it's not that hard to work out. And so with a little bit of patience and trial and error, it looks like this. So we are counting along, and I put in all 10, so it's hard to kind of see. 2, 3, 4. So bringing it up to the camera, the zooming stuff just never works out. And if we adjust the clock speed, of course, you will be able to see what I mean. So I don't actually know how you control this thing, but we'll just turn this one, and hopefully at some point it will start to move. But we can actually just shift it. So now it's going a bit faster, but if you take that out, now it's going super fast. It looks like this. More speed. I think it's the maximum speed we're going to get out of that. So we'll just move this little guy along one more. And there we go. So it looks like all the lights are on. So you might think all the lights are on, but in fact they're not all on. They're actually, one at a time is on, but they're moving so fast you can't see them. So if I take off the clock, it will stop there, and if I reactivate the clock, it will stop stopping at the same place. So you can see every time I do that, you end up getting a different light. So in fact, you could just, that's not the best way of doing this, of course. We need one more wire, and we need a button, and this is getting kind of messy over here. So I'm going to move this thing over to here. Shouldn't really be playing around with this while it's all turned on, but hey, I watched on that Julian guy's channel when he was talking about how he's always having it turned on, and people are always complaining that he's playing around with things while it's still connected to the power, and he shouldn't be doing that. And he was going on about a video about how it didn't. Wait, okay, hold on. So the idea is, I hope I've got this right. Oh, I've got it completely wrong. Okay, that when I press the button, this thing will activate. This is a terrible way of using this. I'm abusing this thing, and so that's not the best way. The best way, of course, is I should just be cutting out the clock signal, but instead of turning off the entire clock. But then it's pulsing it along, and it's doing random things. So now we've got a random number generator between 1 and 10. So that's the simplest thing. But we're going to continue with this, though I'm probably just going to fill this in, rest of this myself, and put in these 2 chips, and then go through a little bit of explanation, and then we'll jump into coding this thing up. Well, I'm going to code it up, the basic steps, and then we'll just do another video about how it's supposed to work. And we're going to go through how I'm going to get it to go backwards and forwards. So that will probably be the next video, as I'll have it all wired up and some basic code to get the light to go to any position that we want it to. Even though at the moment, and this probably gives you a hint. So the hints I'm going to give you is that when I press the button down, it goes really fast, and it goes super fast. So you could end up anywhere, and so because this thing is controlling it, it could go super fast and move anywhere you want. And there's also an enable pin that can turn the whole thing on or off. So we could actually blank it for a second, and I'm just giving it away, haven't I? Blank it, shift it as many times as we need to get it to where we want it to be, and then turn it back on again, and we can then move it to where we want. So, and how do we know where it is? Because we don't actually know where it is. So the one thing is you've got to think about, instead of me giving the whole thing away, is how do I know which LED I'm on? If I only know, like if I press this, if I'm in the computer, I don't know what LED is currently on, because this thing hasn't got any eyes, and we can't connect up a wire here to sense each of these things, because that's going to defeat the whole purpose of this. So we just know that one LED is on, and when we press the button so many times, or when we pulse the clock so many times, we move it so many points. How do we know what LED we're currently at? So I'll leave that. I've kind of tricked you by phrasing that question in a misleading way. But think about that for next time, and thanks for watching, and like, share, and subscribe.